Hello everyone. On today's video, we are going to learn how to unship an order in Profit. In order to unship an order in Profit, I'm going to look to my transaction codes and I'm going to want to use a U for unship. If I know my order number, I can go in under a transaction code of a U, as you can see here in my transaction code field at the top of my screen, and any one order number or any one buyer PO. I'm going to use the F12 on my keyboard to view my shipping tab. I'm going to select the button for shipped. Select the button for shipped here on the left hand side of my screen. And what that's going to do is pull up all the orders that I've shipped for whatever the given date range I have selected here. For this instance, I'm just looking at orders that I've shipped today. I've had a driver show back up and tell me that they were overweight on order 5305. I need to cut a pallet off of this truck and get them back out on the road. In order to do so, I'm going to go into this order under the transaction code of a U, just by typing a U here in my transaction code in the upper left-hand corner of my screen. So all I'm doing there is typing a U. I'm selecting my order, order 5305, and using the F2, my function key located at the bottom left-hand side of my screen, to go into that order. The unship or U transaction code will replace void and restore in Qty. When I go into an order using a U and an F2, or by typing a U, the order number or PO, and enter, I am brought to my F6 screen. My F6 screen is my driver's information. I'll want to review my driver's information and my customer information and be sure that I'm unshipping the right truck. I'll then want to use the F7 on my keyboard to go to my F7 screen, which includes my fruit information and my charge information. I can see here in this column on the center of my screen, here highlighted, staging description is set to shipped full. What this means to the system is that this truck is driving down the road with allocated pallets. If we try to change the order quantity at this time, the system will not allow us, as it believes the truck is driving down the road. It would be pretty hard for us to be driving down the road with a forklift trying to pull a pallet off. So we've got to let the system know that this truck has been unshipped or that it's back at our dock. In order to do that, I'm going to go to F8 by selecting F8 on my keyboard. I'm going to look to my action steps down here in my function menu, and I'm going to see that I have F16, my option to unship. So I'm going to use Shift F4 for F16 to unship this order. You'll see that F16 changes my staging description to unshipped. Now that my order has been unshipped, I want to view the pallets so I can select the proper pallet to cut. In order to view my pallet list, I'm going to want to use my pallet listing function key, F21, Shift F9, which will pull up all of my pallets on an order. In this instance, the driver has asked us to cut 48s. We have a message that verifies that we are to cut 48s from this order, and it's at the back of the load, or the tail of the truck. So we're going to go ahead and select our line for our 48s. If you notice down here in this bottom window, where my cursor is, now highlighted, my pallets for my size 48s show up in this field. If I were to select on my line for my 88s, as you can see highlighted on my screen, if I were to select that line for my 88s show up down below. In this instance, we're going to cut a pallet of 48s. So I simply select that line, use an F5 that I can see down here in my functions menu to select a pallet, and F13 to delete a tag. Shift F1. The system will ask me, am I sure that I want to remove this tag from the order? You can see that message in the center of my screen. I can either use my mouse to come and select yes, or use my left arrow on my keyboard to toggle between yes and no. I can then use my enter key by selecting my enter key, or by putting my mouse over this button and selecting yes. What that does is cuts that pallet off of my order. You can see my order quantity and allocated quantity have changed up above. I now want to go to F7 by touching F7 on my keyboard. I'll want to change my order quantity to match the new quantity on my order, which is 54. You'll see there that my order quantity and allocated quantity go green again, which lets me know that I'm all good. I'll want to come down to my pallet quantity field and be sure I change that to match the number of pallets that are now on my order. In this case, 3. So I'll type a 3 there. I now want to ship this order back out. As you can see, the staging description is still set to unshipped, but my order has been fully allocated. In order to ship an order, I go to F8, and I want to reprint my bill of lading and my manifest using a Shift F3 or F15 to ship my order. Shift F3 will print my appropriate documents and ask me via my subscriber list, who do I want these documents to go to? If I'm happy with my subscriber list, I can hit F3 to send and exit, or deselect any printer I do not want to print. Once I'm happy with my subscriber list, I can use an F3 key to send and exit. Which is going to bring me back to my home screen. Once back in my home screen, I can F12 on my keyboard to my shipping tab. I can see my original quantity of 216 still shows up down below. If I want to refresh this screen to see the changes I make, I can simply use an F5 on my keyboard, go back to my shipped selection, and see that that order quantity now denotes 162. The order remains in shipped full as we've reshipped that order, and the quantity change has been made. That is how you unship an order in Profit using the transaction code of a U. On our next video, we will ship multiple orders on one truck. Thank you everyone for your time and attention. Have a great day.